Hello everybody, English Atheist here. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are on this little mud ball we call home. I thought I'd make this video tonight just to sort of answer some questions, I suppose, that I've been put to by Islamic, although he's obviously a religious nutter, just like any Christian or a Jew or any other of the religious nutters, and his arguments for his religion have been no different, but he contacted me by personal mail and he asked me the question. He said, am I an atheist? Do I not believe in God? And as I said to him is, have you read any of my fucking channel descriptions? Have you seen any of the bloody vids I made? But to answer your question is, yes, I'm an atheist. And I also pointed out to him before he replied to me with any more dumb questions is what my definition of my own personal atheism is, and that being, for those who don't know, is my own personal definition for my own personal brand of atheism is one who has no belief in any god, goddesses, supernatural beings of any kind at all, because there is no proof that would support their existence. That's all, nothing else. Now, as I expected, his reply contained an awful lot of bull from, his arguments were the Quran is the true word of God, and as I tried to tell him is that it's an unprovable God. I mean, what the fuck does he think I was on about in my first thing, that I'm an atheist. I don't believe in his gods because there is no proof. And he then came up with the old Pascal's wager, which is one Christians love to use, and it's not the first time I've seen it come up with an Islamic, but it's always quite amusing. And I asked him, could he come up with any argument, basically, that didn't, need to have, any argument that couldn't be used by any other religion. Well, of course, he didn't. But as I said to him, is that I let him put his questions to me in post, and I answered them all the best I can. And this is what I said, basically. I said, so now it's my turn. And these are 4 questions. I think I could use these 4 questions to ask any religious nutter. Is 1, can they present any scientific evidence that this universe we live in was caused by a supernatural entity? 2, can they present an argument for the existence of the deity that they believe in that couldn't be used to ask for the existence of any other god or gods? 3, can you disprove the existence of a small blue teapot halfway between Earth and Mars that orbits the Sun? Everybody knows that one, I think. And 4, why should I choose your brand of faith any more than you have chosen to believe in any other deist brand of faith? Well, with that, the gentleman concerned blocked me, so he hasn't come up with any more. But so I'm not even going to bother giving a link to his channel here. But I just found the general conversations quite fascinating. I mean, he was only interested in trying to say things like, is the Quran is the true word of God? You won't know unless you've read the Quran. And I have read the Quran. As I pointed out to him, I've got an English translation of the Quran. And he then went and said, it's not a proper one. As I pointed out, it's a Saudi-approved copy. Now, it's then he came up with some old disproven arguments, and he said, the Quran was spoken to Allah by God, to Muhammad by God. And as I pointed out to him, that the Quran wasn't even written until after the death of Muhammad, and that's fact. That the actual words weren't put down, and then he's trying to go on about the magical number of 19. Written in the poetry, which is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a very poetical book in the original Arabic. But, obviously it loses some of the poetry, but in the original Arabic, apparently it all flows around the number 19. There's, blah-de-blah-de-blah. The way the verses are written, the sentence structure and crap like that. But he just drove me mad, basically, in the end, you know, as trying to explain to him that all sides, you know, all religions use their respective holy handbooks, trying to claim that what modern science has discovered was in their books all the time, and they don't get it that I'm saying the same about his faith as I'm saying about the Christian faith or the Jewish faith or the Buddhist faith or any other faiths. Is I don't believe them. I don't believe them because they have no proof. Nothing that can be stuck in a test or examined, put up for scientific experimentation. You know, nothing that can... Oh, how does Thunderfoot put it? Pearl, you know, physical evidence, reason and logic. Nothing that would do anything like that. Do anything like that? Does that make sense? You know? It's do anything like that. But he also said, you know, is what he asked me, what do I do for you? As I pointed out, there isn't anything you can do for me. He contacted me in the first place, so you can't do anything for me, but what can I do for you? And I can point out to you the logical fallacies of some of your arguments, point out the historical inaccuracies in your so-called perfect holy book, and point out the scientific inaccuracies there as well. And he says, well, open your mind. What he means is believe what I say because I say it, or believe what I say because I read it in this book. You know, as I point out to him, my mind is open to physical evidence, reason, and logic and reason. You know, and religion of any fucking brand does not drop into any one of those categories. You know, there's no physical evidence, it's not logical, and it's definitely not reasonable. And then it says you do not believe in God. But again, what he meant was, when he said I do not believe in God, he meant I do not believe in his God, because he obviously doesn't count Thor, or Zeus, or Quetzalcoatl, or, you know, Ra, or Sutek, or any of the other 10,000 odd gods at one time or another that human beings have made up and worshipped and sacrificed to as being relevant. He can see all of the arguments, and he can understand when I use exactly the same arguments as I use against him, against his particular beliefs, when I use it against Christianity, or when I use it against Judaism, or when I use it against Hinduism. He can see why the arguments are correct, except when I apply them to his religion. And there he has this, I don't understand. No, I don't understand. Doesn't it just drive you fucking nuts? But this is a bollocked brain Islamic. He lives in the Middle East, so he's probably one of these people ranting and raving in the streets right now, saying how they want freedom, when really what they want is Sharia law, which is about as far from freedom as you can get. It's a bit like the old 1984 thing. Is that freedom in the Quran is a bit like the Ministry of Peace, you know. You know, love is war. But I don't know, but I can't respond anymore to him, obviously, because, as I say, the bollocked brain Islamic moron blocked me after my last little thing, which, as I pointed out to him, that his prophet was more likely. Well, not more than likely, his prophet was just a child molesting goat fucker from the desert. Now, he probably found that a little bit offensive, but I was getting a bit pissed off by all of the PMs that were building up in my inbox, and all of the Quranic verses he was trying to spout at me. What really annoyed him, as I say, the thing that finished him off was when he said, "Oh, but you haven't read the Quran," and I pointed out to him, blah de blah de blah, my Saudi approved copy. And that's when he blocked me, and he didn't answer any of the questions I put to him. I've never understood these people, never understood them at all. Why do they have this blind spot? I mean, this applies to any of you Christians out there who are deeply entwined in your faith and really, really believe it, is that the same arguments I used against this Islamic are the same arguments I will use against you, not to disprove your God, because I can't disprove a negative. I can't say that that's something I can't test, you know, because absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. But the fact that, you know, the fact that I don't see fairies living at the bottom of my garden doesn't mean to say that they exist. And it doesn't mean to say the fact that I don't see them doesn't mean they're real. I hope you understand that. You obviously would if I was applying it to somebody else's religion, whether you're Christian or Hindu or Muslim or Jewish or Buddhist or Seventh-day Adventist, because you think you're Christians, don't you, or Mormons or any of the other brands of religion that you've got. So I just want you to know, if you care to respond to this, please just leave it in the comments section below. But if you have to write me a PM, don't quote from your religious holy handbooks, because that's meaningless to me. You may as well quote not even fucking Toyland to me, for all the good it will do you. I don't mind interesting arguments that make me think. The only trouble is that none of the arguments that you bollock brain morons have come up with in ages and ages and ages have done anything but made me go what a fucking nutcase. Now, if anything in this video has offended you, let me know what it is. I may want to offend you again. Bye.